84 AD, the Scottish Highlands. 30,000 Caledonian tribesmen are battling for their freedom, fighting against the might of the imperial Roman army. Taking control of one of the armies of the past is a family of 4, divided into 2 generals.
Right, Mum, bring the cavalry to engage these guys.
And 2 lieutenants.
The whole army appears to be advancing.
Using state-of-the-art technology to challenge the greatest generals of the ancient world, the team will attempt to leave their mark on history.
We're pretty well in total battle here.
This is Time Commanders. With Eddie Mair inside a 21st century military command centre and taking control of the battlefield are the Rose family from Edinburgh. Cameron Rose, 49, police inspector. Sue Rose, 47, retired classroom assistant. Joe Rose, 21, drama graduate. Ben Rose, 19, student.
All from the same family, all on the same programme. Whose idea was this?
Oh, now leave me out that.
Why,
Supported
Cameron?
by Joe.
Why?
I just thought it'd be a good idea, just for the family to get everybody together, do something like this.
You're a big history fan.
Yes.
Which aspects do you like best, you're most interested in?
Older, ancient, 6th century, AD.
Okay, you might have to go a little further back than that today, but we'll see how we get on. I thought it might have been your idea, Joe.
It was not my idea. I just filled in the forms. I do what I'm told.
Because you want to be a C-list celebrity.
Well, that's only a means to an end. I really want to just be able to do panto for the rest of my life. And if being a C-list celebrity means I can do that, then bring it on.
You're already B-list on this programme, so
Fantastic.
Congratulations.
Excellent. Thank you very
You're
much.
already a winner. Sue, you probably know these 2 better than anyone.
Well.
What should we know about them?
They're both quite strong personalities, and they've practiced arguing quite a lot.
Ben, you take a keen interest in history to the extent that you've, even from the days when you were a child, fought battles.
Well, I'm quite interested in Scottish history, battles in particular, so I used to draw out wee maps and work out how the battles had been done.
Did the Scots always win in your battles?
Yeah, of course.
OK. Well, we'll see in a moment which battle you're going to be fighting. Before we do, I'm intrigued that the 2 youngsters are going to be the generals. Who decided that? Don't tell me Dad again.
It was a team decision, I think. We just figured we've had 40 years of collective experience of taking orders from these guys, so we thought it might be a bit of a laugh if we...
Well, actually, I thought it would be developmental for them.
Oh, tears.
Always thinking of them. Now, let me introduce you to our historians who are going to be watching your every move today. Say hello, they're Eric and Sol up there. Keep an eye on what you do and come down later and give us their judgment on your performance.
Dr. Eric Nussbacher, Senior Lecturer in War Studies, Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst. Dr. Saul David, military historian and author. The battle the team must fight will be won or lost on the information they are about to receive. They must pay close attention because the clues are all there.
You are going to be, and you'll be pleased to hear this, on the side of the Caledonii, or as I should be referring to them, the Caledonians, against the Romans at Mons Graupius. Watch very carefully. Here's your briefing.
The year is 84 AD. The Empire of Rome stretches from the Euphrates in the east to Britain in the west. The place is modern-day Scotland, then the Empire's forbidding northern frontier. On one side, the awesome forces of the Imperial Roman army. Opposing them, 30,000 Caledonian tribesmen fighting for their lives. The Roman army had descended on Britain in the reign of the Emperor Claudius. It had taken 40 years to pacify the Celts, but by 60 AD, Rome had gained full control of southern Britain. With a rich agricultural surplus, the province of Britannia would bring huge profits to the Roman Empire. In the process of colonization, the Roman legions had become renowned for their strength and ruthless efficiency. In 77 AD, Cneius Julius Agricola was appointed governor of Britain. Agricola was a seasoned warrior who had already fought 2 campaigns on the island. He knew Britain well and was aware of the fighting prowess of the British tribes. In a series of military campaigns, Agricola subdued the tribes of Wales and northern Britain and conquered what is now southern Scotland. Soon, Agricola set his sights on the highlands, inhabited by fearsome Celtic tribes, known as the Caledonian. They occupied a rugged landscape difficult to attack. At first, Agricola tried to lure the Caledonii into battle, but the wary tribesmen kept their distance. Within a year, Agricola launched a second attempt on the tribes of the north. This time, the Caledonii chose to fight. "30,000 men from the tribes of the Caledonii have congregated near Mons Graupius, a mountain in the northeast of modern Scotland. The exact location of the battle remains unconfirmed, but possible sites include Murrayfold, Durno, Raydykes and Care House. The tribal coalition is led by the Caledonian general Calgacus, or Calach. He and his fellow tribesmen are fighting for their freedom. The battleground is open but rough terrain, a rubble-strewn valley at the foot of a steep slope. Occupying the Roman front line are 13,000 men from Batavia and Tungria, men from modern-day northern Europe. They are specialists in close-quarter combat, and as warriors, they are disciplined and relentless. The professional Roman soldiers may be feared throughout Europe, but they're still nervous of the Caledonian size and appearance. And the Celtic chariots, quick and fast in combat, command respect from the Roman troops. On the eve of the battle, the Roman army may be outnumbered, but for Agricola, victory will mark the climax of a 7-year campaign to secure the empire's northern frontier. For the Caledonian tribes, defeat means death or a life of slavery under Roman rule. The stakes are high, battle is imminent.
All right, you're going to be on the side of the Caledonii. And you know this part of the world, don't you? You're a fan of Aberdeen Football Club, so that map must have looked like familiar territory?
Yeah, it means a lot to me.
Exactly, that's all going to be a big help. Would you like to know more about the location?
Yes.
Glad you said that. Have a look at this map. What do you see?
Okay, that's a hill here. Could be a good bogey bit down the middle.
Adam behind us will give you total command of the screen, and you can have a 360-degree tour of the battlefield, which you can do any time. Why not have a look now and compare it to the map you've got in front of you?
The Highland battlefield is scattered with rocky outcrops, covered in heather and small clusters of trees. With a steep slope on both sides, whoever can take control of the high ground will have a commanding view of their enemy. This advantage could prove decisive.
The natural inclination of the Caledonians and Calgacus in particular, was not actually to fight the Roman legions in open battle. He'd actually manoeuvred quite well and generally had withdrawn using the terrain against them. The problem he's now got is that the Romans advanced so far, they're actually about to get to his granary hordes, basically the place where his food is grown, and if they take that, the whole structure of the tribe is destroyed. He almost has to fight now.
And quite a flat expanse in the middle.
Yeah, and there's that double one.
Do you want to do some plotting of your own troops then?
What we got?
Well, what you can do here is send your 2 lieutenants down to our technicians at the front. A couple of things they need to do. Obviously, report back to you on the detail of what your forces are, so you can start deploying them up here. And also, each of you will have control of one half of your forces. And it's really important, lieutenants, that you get an understanding now of which of your forces you're going to be looking after. Otherwise, it could get uglier in battle than you intended. So go down and familiarise yourself with your forces and shout back to the generals everything you see.
The team have researched their enemy well, but between them, can they agree on the right strategy to defeat Agricola's more experienced Roman army?
Most of our forces are weaker than theirs, means we need to use the strengths that they have, whether that be the hill or the fast attack that the skirmishers have down the hill.
It's a mistake to view these Britons as untrained. They may not have had the Roman training. They may not have been able to stand out there on a parade square and turn left oblique at the sound of the tuba. But I would not call them untrained. They didn't train a British warrior because fighting was a way of life for them. So maybe they're untrained, but that does not mean that they were not deadly fighters.
With only a little time remaining to form a battle plan, the generals must be decisive.
I think we should concentrate some of our foot soldiers here, bring them to us. If we can get our chariots round the side and our horsemen round the side, keep our archers protected.
Yep.
Just, if we can get them down there, yeah. Yeah, but
So they're not going to stand and let us do this.
maybe we can coincide this with an attack from here, because these guys will be...
Wait. So what happened to sitting and waiting? You're attacking from the sides and the front now.
No.
We're attacking everywhere.
The plan is we sit here and wait for them to attack, and when they do,
We
we
send
counter-attack, and we attack round the sides.
counter-attack from the front, and we send our mobile troops around the sides and the back.
We might sit there and they might not attack, because last time they came to Scotland they didn't, did they? They just...
Well, in that case, maybe what we need to do is pull some of these back so that we are looking vulnerable here.
Pull back as if we're frightened.
I'm not going to
Although,
give you too
to
much
be
longer.
honest-
I'm going to need to see your plan very soon.
I think that the way we've got it, I think that's okay.
You don't want to pull some of the back?
Their first instinct is that actually be a bit more aggressive, but the natural caution of the Scots is actually making them determined to hold a few troops back, possibly even too many. They might split the army, and if they do, it could mean disaster.
As long as we're on the hill, I think that's the thing.
Okay.
All right, so you're all clear on where you want to be. You have to decide now.
You're the boss, I'm not the boss at this.
Well, I'm going to take my lot slightly further up the hill, and you can do whatever you like with yours.
So just to be clear, there is utter division before you've even started. This all goes well, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
That's how it's going to be? You're confident you can fight this battle and win?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Lieutenants to the front, generals stay here and oversee. Deploy your troops.
Defending their freedom against Roman attack, the Caledonian generals will deploy their archers on the high ground to the left. Meanwhile, covering the Caledonian right flank with 2 units of agile cavalry. The team are planning to envelop the Roman army on both sides, using their fierce Celtic warriors to hammer the advancing Romans in the centre. Their huge strength in numbers, plus the high ground, give the Caledonians a natural advantage over the Romans. As long as Caledonian discipline remains intact, they stand a good chance of a famous victory.
You need to be as clear as possible in your instructions so that everything is where you want it to be before the battle starts, because that could be any time.
While you're taking your archers, Mum, can you just make sure that your cavalry are just behind the archers, directly behind them, so that they're ready just to sneak past them?
You want the cavalry up the hill as well?
Over the hill, to the other side of the archers.
But will Jo's concern with her archers cloud her overall tactical judgment?
If that's the battle plan, I'm worried, because they don't seem to have worked out a logical concept for what they're actually trying to do. They've got too many of their troops spread out, probably on too wide a distance, and they've got their key troops all grouped in one particular place. And I'm not convinced this is going to work.
There's something to this plan. Jo and Ben have at their disposal a lot of mobility in a position to get right around the back of the Romans, possibly, for instance, to engage the Roman legionaries at the back, to force Agricola to commit his tactical reserve before he wants to.
True to form, Agricola has retained a large tactical reserve. But the Caledonians could deploy their nimble chariot key troops against these legions, breaking their formation and destroying the Roman battle plan. So have the team thought this far ahead?
Have you got any instructions for the chariots?
Chariots.
Yeah, I've moved them round.
As long as they're round and ready to go, then they're
Right,
fine.
okay, yes, the chariots are in this area as well.
The Rose family, commanding 60,000 allied Caledonian tribesmen, will have to apply all their strategic skill if they want to repel the ruthless and deadly Roman army.
So is everyone where we need them to be?
Yeah. All right, you've successfully deployed your troops. Now you just have to...
Bring it on!
If the Roman auxiliary line breaks through their line, what are they going to do about it? The Britons don't need a line. The Britons don't need that tiny formation. That doesn't do them any good. But they have to know what to do if it all starts to go pear-shaped.
Right, we think the Romans are on the move.
Which side?
They're the other side.
In the centre, they're advancing.
Okay, so your infantry are coming forward.
That's the Roman infantry.
From the centre or all of them?
Certainly the centre, the cavalry are
Okay, we need to
remaining
wait
still.
until they get to the bottom of the hill. How are their horsemen doing? Are their horsemen doing?
Can we go up slightly,
They're
please?
stationary.
You can see it from the screen.
Then can we get a higher view of
Who
this?
do you want to send out to them when they come?
When they come, we're going to send the front.
Right.
How many?
3, 4, 5,
Cavalry
6,
are
7.
on the move.
Okay, cavalry moving forward.
On the right wing. No, their cavalry are on the move, coming
Yep.
forward as
Yep.
well.
Leaving their legions in reserve, the Romans push 4 units of cavalry out to meet the right flank of Caledonian horsemen. The first engagement of the Battle of Mons Graupius is about to begin.
Well, the Romans are coming up with their cavalry on their flanks, auxiliaries in the front.
No sign of the legions, presumably, who are still in reserve, are they?
So the Romans have got their legions in reserve, but not deep reserve.
Our right-hand
whole
side.
army appears to be advancing pretty well
Okay,
straight
when they get to
forward.
the bottom of the hill, we're going to get the entire front row of our infantry. As soon as they start climbing the hill, when we give you the word, it's going to charge at them. Almost directly before that, in fact, it should be we need to send the archers out, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so now?
Yeah.
Yeah, can your archers, can you start firing on the horsemen, the cavalry, and the front row of infantry?
You're going to have to wait until they're fairly close.
Okay.
Kind of an interesting comment by Jo just then. They're going to wait till they get to the bottom of the hill. They're going to actually have to start climbing up the hill before they launch their attack. She's determined to make the best use of her infantry that she can. She knows they've got to be using a shock wave. What I'm interested in is, are they going to coordinate it with these pincer movement that they've set up?
That's right.
Out on the right flank, the Caledonian horsemen await the advance of the Roman cavalry.
Their cavalry are going through a rocky patch. Our chariots will not cope with them on that rocky patch.
Instead of using their chariot key troops in an early skirmish on the flat, the team have deployed them on rocky ground against horsemen. Will this prove a costly mistake?
Dad,
Yeah?
send one cavalry to attack inside the flank, and then send the other one
Right, attack.
Okay.
attack the other cavalry.
They're coming to
Straight
get
ahead of
us.
them.
The Caledonian cavalry now have a fight on their hands. Outnumbered by Roman horses, they must rely on their chariots to do some of the work. But it looks like the team's chariots may be finished before they've even begun.
Okay, our cavalry, get some of those guys in there, because our cavalry are being minced.
The right-hand infantry, this is ours over here.
Can we go back? Is that all their cavalry from the right-hand flank?
We have to engage.
Right, we're pretty well in total battle here. We're all committed on the right-hand flank. All committed on the right-hand flank.
How are we doing with it?
So it could go either way at the moment.
Okay.
We're not doing too bad.
The generals are keeping a big picture of the battlefield.
They are using their lieutenants as their eyes and ears further ahead of the actual battlefield. The detail of the battlefield is being picked up by the lieutenants, and they are keeping the bigger picture, as you say. And that's it. So far, so good, because the command structure seems to be working reasonably well, despite the fact that you've got children at the back and parents at the front. You would have thought that would cause a problem.
Have you sent in a unit of infantry?
No, not to this patch, because we're on the right wing, the right flank.
Send in a unit of infantry.
They're quite a long way away.
By committing half of their cavalry to an early ambush on the right flank, the Caledonian generals have drawn significant numbers of Roman cavalry away from the centre of the battlefield and away from the Caledonian infantry, poised to commence their main assault.
Okay, we've tied up their cavalry. We have drawn them out. Maybe you should go for a full frontal now.
The ambush off on the right flank does seem to have stripped the Roman cavalry off of their left flank. But do they have the oomph to do anything to the Romans?
Right.
Okay.
If the Romans are still advancing, then push all the infantry at the front, like the front line forward.
That's both of you, Mum. That's you and them. All the front line, only the front line, all the front line down towards them.
The Caledonian generals planned a battle on 3 fronts. After committing their right flank early in the battle, they now order their infantry forward across a broad central line to engage the approaching Romans. But has the left flank been posted too far from the action?
Where are the left-hand flank of cavalry, Mum?
They're actually coming forward without being told to, because they were too far.
No, ours or theirs?
Oh, ours.
Ours. Keep ours to the left-hand flank. Keep them out. Keep them out of the battle.
Despite the general's orders, a unit of Caledonian cavalry has been sent to attack some Roman infantry head-on. It could be disastrous.
Up beside the cavalry.
Meanwhile, on the right flank, things have got worse.
Their cavalry have regrouped and they're beginning to rout our cavalry. We're fleeing on the right flank.
To that right-hand side, please.
You seem to be losing it just a little there, Joe.
Sorry, it's going to be fine.
Is it getting to you?
It's going to be fine. I can't bear to see the little people dying.
You just can't stop caring, can you?
I know. It's really tough.
They sprung their flank attack probably a little bit too early and without enough support, and it could have been costly. But in actual fact, what it's done is slightly dislocated the Roman manoeuvre, and it may be that the aggression the Caledonians are showing after that is actually going to pay off.
The Caledonians lost their chariots and half their cavalry to Agricola's disciplined horsemen, who are now galloping towards the main battle on the hill.
If you could get the archers as soon as possible, get the archers just to come in to the side so that they can start being actually used.
But with 26,000 Caledonian warriors led by Calgacus at last able to engage, the team have a chance to use their superior numbers to drive the Romans back and out of the highlands.
Dad, if you've got any more infantry units at the back, just push them straight forward into the centre.
As the team launched their simultaneous attack on the left flank, can Joe's archers finally play their part against the Romans?
So this is our archers firing now. Excellent. While your archers are firing.
We've defeated their first group, their first
Okay,
line.
keep going. Oh no, keep your
Another line coming in.
Right, Mum, bring the cavalry to engage these guys.
cavalry are charging. Watch, they're
Yeah,
charging.
bring round our cavalry. Archers, get the archers. If you can. Okay, bring your archers. Your archers are running this flank of archers here. Bring them down. Get them down as far down into the Roman side as you can. Get them along the sides and behind them so that they can start firing on. So here, firing on the Roman troops from the back. Sorry.
No, it's all right. You're so loud they can hear you back in 84 AD.
Excellent.
Now that the Caledonians are committed on all fronts, can they use their superior numbers to envelop the disciplined Roman army? But if there's one thing Agricola's soldiers can call on, it's flexibility in the heat of battle.
Now, here you see the Romans refusing their left flank. They're going to set up to try to prevent the Caledonians from coming in and wrapping right around their left flank.
They've got to react to this fast because the Romans are actually coming up in an awful lot of strength now.
And those Britons there are going to be in a Roman sandwich.
Here they come.
The victorious Roman cavalry have moved on from the carnage on the right, charging up the slope and threatening to surround the Celts in the centre. With the future of the highlands at stake, can the generals defend their advantageous position against a coordinated Roman attack?
The
Who's
peasants
winning?
and swordsmen are running away on the right flank.
Running away. Okay, watch.
Direct the battle, come on.
Okay, get your cavalry into this next lot because they're coming up here. So these guys have gone.
And Mum, if you have any more infantry left.
How are the infantry doing? Can we see the infantry?
The Caledonians are fully committed, using their weight of numbers to hold back the Roman army. Their strategy depends on enveloping the enemy, but can they maintain the same organised line as the Romans? Not only are Caledonian troops less disciplined than the enemy, but they may be spread too thin across such an open area. If communication breaks down between distant, ill-disciplined troops, the team could be in serious trouble.
We're bringing down the infantry into the battle over on the left.
How are your archers doing? Are there archers that we sent round the back? How are they doing? Is that them there?
I think they've run away.
They're not allowed to run away. This is a battle.
Sorry, that's the nature of the combatants. We're in retreat.
The Caledonian attack on the left-hand flank has run out of steam, and Joe's precious archers are now in retreat. Pursued by Roman cavalry, Caledonian ill-discipline begins to show.
What happened to the two back rows? Did we send? We didn't send them in, did we?
Fully committed.
But back in the centre, the Caledonian assault has been so ferocious, it may force Agricola to commit his tactical reserve. With all of his troops engaged, Agricola may find Caledonian numbers overwhelming. Can the Caledonian generals seize the initiative?
So the Romans committed their reserves.
That's right. They
did, didn't they? They committed their legions.
The Britons have forced the Romans to commit.
Broadly speaking, we're surrounded. We've attracted them all into our end.
Broadly speaking, you're surrounded.
You're surrounded.
Oh my God, look at that. Look at that.
It's a massacre on that flank.
It is a massacre on that flank.
Okay, well we better go in and help out Dad's side then.
Okay. So you want
Right,
this
we're all
extra?
in
We
retreat.
want one. How many troops have we got left?
Joe tries to seize control of an increasingly fragmented battle.
We're definitely in flight.
Who? Everybody?
Yes.
This battle in the middle, we were winning that.
He's on the right flank. He's on the right flank. We're winning, but everybody's retreating.
They still haven't panicked yet. They're still in control. Come on,
some of their troops may have panicked, there's hardly a part of the field that's not carpeted with Caledonian dead.
Okay, bring your cavalry round. If you can get them as far down and in round the side as opposed to going back, coming back and forward again.
The generals attempt to consolidate their troops for another Caledonian push. But with the resurgent Romans in danger of dominating the field, will it be too little, too late?
We're still slugging it out here. We're going to overwhelm the cohorts here.
You're gonna. Have you got your battle under control there?
Yes, in the centre bit.
See those units, Mum. Push them in to the Roman backline. Yeah, where the veterans are going. Push the archers in.
Okay, get your archers out of there and bring in that cavalry. Oh, too late. They're going to be rounded. Okay, yeah, that's right.
Oh, fantastic.
Whose fault is this?
It's my fault, and I'm sorry. Who's firing?
Those are the little people.
That's okay. We've got quite a.
We need to stop firing now because we're firing on our own troops.
Right.
Excellent, they're away.
They're running.
You took some.
Come back again.
I'm seeing a lot of Roman banners on this battlefield, but damn few British.
We're getting a bit of a slaughter in here, I think. Can we have a big picture? Can we zoom out?
Do you think it'll look less gory from up above?
Yeah, will look as bad.
I don't want to see them die.
The Roman machine slides into action, wiping out whole areas of Caledonian resistance.
It seems to me that they're being taken in little isolated pockets, and as they mop up, the Romans are reforming and getting ready to move on to another part of the battlefield. It's not looking good.
Battlefield communication begins to break down, and the team face a serious problem. In defiance of their general's orders, Caledonian troops are fleeing in the face of Roman tactical superiority.
I'm afraid most of your units are running away, General.
All my units are committed. All my units are committed.
Mum, have you got any not doing anything?
I think they're running towards you,
There's a
boys.
few archers.
But our Scottish team have one thing they can fall back on.
Okay, Lieutenant, can you give them a nice stirring Braveheart-style speech and tell them that they've got to come back and fight?
Get the bagpipes out, quick.
They've mentioned Braveheart, which might mean that things are going bad.
That's right. The last card for the Caledonians to play is to mention Braveheart.
The Romans may be butchering their way across the field, but inspired by the determination of their remaining troops, the Caledonians refuse to give up.
Mum, where are your troops taking a beating?
You're so quiet in comparison.
In comparison. Not difficult.
Who's this?
We've got a few cavalry. They're going up the hill now, our cavalry.
Oh, they're running away, that's
They
fine.
haven't got much chance.
Kill them, go on. This has no correlation now to what's going on there.
So this is a bit of a mess
This is a
here.
bit of a mess here. What have we got left?
We've got a few infantry on the hill.
Just a few. Where are they?
But unfortunately, Joe's archers are nowhere to be seen.
Where are our archers?
Our archers have probably all run away.
I don't think we've got many left.
We've got 6 left there.
We've got a few archers down at the bottom of the hill.
We don't have any archers left. Okay?
It's Joe's last chance to make her mark on the battle.
I just feel that those archers need to be shooting somebody. It doesn't really matter who, just shoot somebody.
They're running away, they might not do what
Your
they're told.
cavalry and chariots, are they all completely gone?
Just about. All I've got left is a few swordsmen, some scouts, and my general.
What are you going to do now?
Right. We need to get these archers if we can.
Not the archers going around the back again. That's the only thing you've
But they
suggested.
haven't gone there yet.
All right, maybe let's try that.
The archers are running away up the hill at the moment.
Oh, it was such a good plan and it's all gone wrong.
What we need to do is get all the infantry concentrated in one place if that's possible. But not that we've got much left.
Okay.
So
Do you think this is winnable?
Yeah. We'll humour you, yes.
Okay. There are very few live Britons left on this field. The only sizable formed unit left on the field is this little knot of light forces here. And look what's coming. Look what's coming in for a visit.
We've got a small number of peasants on the side of the hill.
Okay, bring them in.
That's going to be the last action of this battle for the British.
Yeah, I think it's coming to a sticky end. It's a shame because they fought it well for long stretches, but the troops in the end, unfortunately, were too spread out. They were too. It made it too easy for the Romans to take them one at a time, one formation at a time.
Oh no!
Right, we want to
I can't
regroup.
look, and yet I can't stop.
Both of you, can you both bring them into the centre?
No, they can't go anywhere. They're fighting.
Your mum's busy fighting. Don't disturb her.
Heard that
It's
one
like
before.
being at home.
Okay. Whoever you can, bring in right here.
Right, into where? To the centre.
Zoom out.
We've lost that one. I'm afraid we're exhausted.
And we've still got a few that we need to regroup at the centre.
If they're at the side, then bring them in as quickly.
Bring them in. Bring them in. Fight.
Mum, do you have any left at the side?
Oh, panicking.
Okay.
Our general's just died. He's been surrounded.
Your general's just died. That means one of you, doesn't it?
Ours have all panicked and are running, and the generals.
Defeat imminent.
Look, they're still going. They're still going.
Wait, even scores.
Where do they come from?
You're not doing anything.
You are defeated.
Too late.
You are defeated.
Bad luck. Come back up then, lieutenants. Bad luck. Or was it bad strategy?
Oh, bad strategy.
Definitely.
Bad
Or bad
implementation
execution.
of our
Well,
wonderful plans, I
I
suspect.
think so.
I'm keen to hear what you think went wrong there.
Okay, can I make one suggestion? First of all, archers are no good well out of... They need to be firing into a group,
But if they're
phalanx of
firing
them.
into a group
Yeah.
that is in battle, then we're going to hit our own arch.
Well, that's right. So
troops
that's
as
why
well.
it needed to be done right at the start. At an early stage, they need to be within range to soften them up.
Okay.
Okay, I should have said that earlier. Thank you.
It doesn't mean he's right just because he said it, you know.
But you should have said it earlier, that's right. So we didn't have that.
Possibly is, because
I
our
think he's got
archers
a
didn't
point.
really do a lot of good. I mean,
I think they were
it
too
was all
far.
very well. They were
We had
quite
them
far
actually
out.
too far
They
up
were
the
too
hill.
far away,
Too
so
far
they
If
out.
only you brought them down and round the side and through the back.
That's what I said.
Why didn't you think of
Someone
that,
has
Joe?
suggested that. Sue, how did it look to you down there?
Oh, chaos. We just didn't have a sufficiently coherent plan, and our troops were not always being used when they should have been and where they should have been.
So it's down to the generals then.
Oh,
Just passing the blame to
absolutely,
me.
absolutely.
Ben, what would you have done differently? What should
Well-
you have done differently?
I think, well, maybe our plan was slightly off. I think maybe we weren't quick enough to move things when things happened. Maybe we waited a little too long for them to come in, and they had an advantage on this flank. And we just capitulated.
Okay, let's see what our experts thought of what you did. They've been watching. Sol and Eric, come down. They watched all your planning. They watched all the execution being the operative word in this battle, as you so horribly let Scotland down. But don't feel bad. What do you think?
They did better than the Caledonians did the first time out. Which says a great deal about how the Caledonians did the first time out. You approached the battle with absolutely no idea of what you wanted to do. You didn't have an aim. And the best suggestion that I heard at the beginning, certainly from a strategic point of view, was from Sue, who said, run away. Get out of it. Conduct guerrilla warfare. Make the Romans hate this part of the world for the next 15 years. Get out of it. So you did not have an idea of how you wanted to win the battle. You didn't know what you wanted to make the enemy do. You finally roughed out an idea of kind of what you were maybe going to do, and didn't think about what you'd do if it didn't work.
I saw it slightly differently. I thought it was a classic case of fortune not favouring the brave, actually, because as I saw it, your plan may not have been watertight, but it was bold. And you had two very interesting and nicely planned flank attacks. The only problem was you launched them too soon, and you launched them without support. And they had some effect, but there's no one there to take advantage of it. From that point on, you became reactive and not proactive, and that cost you, because if you're reactive against Roman legions, you're almost always going to lose.
And things were happening on each part of the battlefield that you couldn't control. You couldn't shift forces from one place to another because everybody was engaged fighting nasty little battles. Now, that would have been okay if you'd had a great big bunch of guys held in reserve to go send in and swing the battle one way or the other. But you didn't. And one by one, the Romans were able to engage and destroy your surviving groups while they stood still, waiting for someone to tell them what to do. You lost the initiative.
I will say on a positive note, though, that the communication, given that you had the two parents down there and the children up here, was very good. You were clear, your orders were clear, your parents, your lieutenants stayed down below, they listened to your orders, and they tried to carry them out. The only problem was, were the orders the right ones? Communication, excellent. The plan, I think, was always going to fail, and that's the problem.
How did they do in reality? What happened in history?
Yeah, that one's a sad story to tell, actually. All right. Who gets there first? The Caledonians. They get the best piece of this battlefield. They get that nice uphill site. They can see everything that's going on. They can watch the Romans come, and that is a nice starting advantage to go along with their huge numbers up there. The Romans come in, and Agricola, the Roman commander, keeps his Roman legions tight in the back where he can use them in case everything goes to rats on the battlefield. He's got them as the tactical reserve that he can use to swing the battle the way he wants, and he keeps some cavalry in reserve as well. And further to the front, he has got his auxiliaries. Now these are Germans pretty much, and the Germans are going to do the serious fighting for Agricola. And he's got some cavalry on the flanks. It all starts out with everybody chucking spears at each other. And we see javelins, and we see the pilum flying through the air, and some archery. And that doesn't really change anything. It's the customary way to begin, to give everybody time to set themselves up for the battle. Then, two things happen at once. Those chariots start to get going, possibly with some cavalry support. And they start coming in towards the Romans, try to get them going, try to get a battle going. And the Romans have got their cavalry on the wings here, and they're able to get the chariots and some of the Celtic cavalry out of the way. And simultaneously, the Roman auxiliaries are going to come up and start engaging the British main infantry line.
Now, the battle's not lost at this point. The Caledonians are in a tricky position, it is true, and their light troops have been pushed back, but they still have the advantage of the terrain, and they still have a potential surprise up their sleeve, and that is a flank attack. They detach infantry and move it around both sides of the attacking Roman columns. There is a possibility of envelopment here, particularly because they have such a vast majority in numbers.
But because the Romans have got their cavalry well in hand, they're able to use the cavalry who are committed and commit the additional cavalry who have been held in tactical reserve to come around and protect themselves from being enveloped on the flanks. You guys tried to go around the flanks. You succeeded for a little while. That's nice. So did the Britons in history, but the Romans were prepared, and the cavalry came roaring in on the flanks.
Basically, the battle ends up, because the main part of the Caledonian force is pinned, it really comes down to close quarter fighting, and there's no one better than that, than the auxiliary troops, these Tungrians and Batavians, akin apparently to the Gurkhas of the modern-day British Army. These are the experts, and gradually they drive their way through the centre. It becomes a rout, and unfortunately, I have to tell you, casualty figures, 10,000 Caledonians to just 500 Romans.
And these legionaries here don't even have to wash the blood off their hands because they don't get involved on that particular day. So you're absolutely right. What do? Run away.
Finally, Eric, we're talking about Brits and Caledonians. When did Brits and Caledonians become one?
We're using the term British, we're using the term Caledonian to refer to the Celtic language-speaking inhabitants of the Isle of Britain and this region which was called Caledonia. That's not the tribal name of any of them, and they had all different names. We're not sure what was attached to which tribe. One thing we do know is that Caledonia was not inhabited by people called Scots at this point.
So the only thing that the Rose